Thanks for tuning in, everybody. I'm Devin from Gajan. This is Josh B. We are here at Funky Dope. Thanks for letting us in.
Of course, man. Appreciate you.
This is a super cool studio in St. Louis, and we're just excited to be talking to different creators around the area. Everybody does something a little bit different, and that's what we like the most. So we're just going to ask some questions today about the upbringing, the studio in general, and just what goes on around here.
All right, let's get it.
So to start it off, could you just start with the story, like a Cliff Notes version of this place and how it became?
Yeah, so essentially what happened was I was working at a studio on the south side called 1920. The owner of the brand Funky Dope built that spot. It ended up closing down after about maybe like a year of me working there, but he ended up building this spot and asked me to come work, and then I've been here ever since. It's been about 2.5 years.
Okay, so you're not the owner here. You
manage.
You're a manager.
Yeah, manage, engineer, producer.
Is there anybody else who mixes here, or is it pretty much just you?
For the most part, it's just me. We have a couple people that do actual mixes, but I'm the only one that really records.
Gotcha. Mm-hmm. Okay, that's cool. Do you like working here most of the time, or do you find yourself like working on laptop or like getting out in other spaces and mixing?
No, I only work here.
Just here? You're like a home-based guy.
I only work it for all intents and purposes. It's my studio. Like I said, I'm the only one that really works here. Mm-hmm. A couple people come in to do mixes every now and then, but like I said, I'm in here for 15, 16 hours a day.
Yeah. When you're at a different place, do you feel like you have to reacclimate and like it's just like a whole nother world?
Oh yeah. Yeah. So first off, if I'm in St. Louis, then I only work here. But if I'm in any other city that doesn't have a Funky Dope, then it takes a minute to get acclimated sometimes. But I mean, as long as they have Pro Tools, I'm pretty good.
Mm-hmm. So how many Funky Dopes are there?
Right now, 2 that are actually built. So we have the one here in St. Louis, and then the one in North Houston, and then we have a couple more being built. One more in Houston, and then one in Miami.
Right on. Is there like a greater plan with that, like a label that's gonna span all of them?
It's some stuff in the works we can't talk about right now, but you know what I mean. It's
okay,
we're always progressing.
We'll edit that out, I guess. That was one of my questions here. Is there anything else you can tell us about the future that you're excited about? Like whether that's like clients that you want to bring in or like things you want to try that you haven't done here yet, anything like that?
That I can say, we're looking into more events. We've thrown, certain things like birthday parties, things like that, but I want to get more of the city out here, do more of like open houses. We've done cook-ups here with other producers like Maestro Frio, John Joseph, Rick the Ruler, Basie Blue, and it's really had a pretty good turnout, actually. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we're looking to do more stuff like that.
So I think that St. Louis is on the come up, and a lot of people are saying that. Mm-hmm. And when we were at this event a few weeks ago that you were a judge at, I could feel that. I was like, okay, there's something going on here. Like, do people ask you to do a lot of that kind of stuff, or is that what you think is next for St. Louis? Is like events and competitions, and like, do you think that's how we're gonna pull the talent out, or what do you think is the answer to like moving St. Louis forward in general?
Yeah, I honestly think that is the answer. Since they've been doing the Fly to Dubai events, it's brought out a bunch of different people, a bunch of different artists. We all get to come together. It's a bunch of different people from different sides of town. A lot of the time people say St. Louis is really segregated, so when events like this happen, it's really like a beautiful thing to see everybody come together and network and I guess make themselves available to be creative with other creatives.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's always good to see that. Yeah. Like there are like different genres and like
right, and then everybody's working together now.
Yeah, that's cool. Cause like, I've always felt that like every St. Louis is so pockety and like people don't mingle enough, and there's not enough of that, which is like something that we're trying to do at Gauge and Sound Co. is like just work in different industries. Like we do a little bit of film, a little bit of the music. Like we've done some live sound stuff, like just try to connect everything, We have in Alton, you'll have to come out sometime. It's our studio. It's like a conglomerate of like some filmmakers, some guys who run a music festival called Mississippi River Festival. It's just like on the river, and then us. And then we're trying to get we're expanding. I can't talk too much about that
Right,
either
right. No,
yet.
I know how that goes.
But there's some cool stuff coming where like it's gonna be more of like a creative club type thing where people can come in and like bounce ideas off each other and like just you know it's like almost like an open mic but like for stuff you've made already. You
Oh
know?
yeah, okay,
Because
yeah.
I think like stuff like that is gonna bring people together. You know,
Yeah.
and like getting people like you that are professional and can give like legit feedback because that's the other part of this is like there has to be
like a feedback
like the
component.
people at the people at the top that can kind of like nurture and like,
Right.
lead people. So you were also talking about how you just a little bit ago like you help out kids when you're not here. Like tell us a little more about that because it seems like you've taken on that mentorship role a little bit already.
Yeah, definitely. So for the past year, I've worked with the Boys and Girls Club on West Florissant. I teach elementary schoolers to high schoolers everything from engineering, songwriting, production, studio etiquette, how to use Pro Tools, how to use FL Studio, you know, everything from the beginning to the end. Mixing, mastering, all of it.
That's crazy, dude. I couldn't imagine if someone was teaching me that at that age.
Man.
This would be a creative city, you know?
I'm saying, yeah, I wish I had that when I was a kid.
I remember like in middle school, we had like tech class and they like teach us, you know, typing. And like I was like, that's what I was doing, you know? Like I just didn't even know this was something you could do, you know?
Right.
Like I used to think like, oh no, only like the famous people are making music and like I didn't know that there's like opportunities to get into that, you know?
Yeah.
So I think what you're doing is awesome in that.
Neither did I until somebody gave me FL Studio and then I'm like, I'm hooked. It's what I do all the time now. It's just for the rest of my life, I'm on FL Studio.
I think in like high school, like early high school, I figured out that Logic Pro existed.
Yeah.
Or no, GarageBand for like a year. And I was just like, I had this like iMac with like a little mic in it, and I would take my guitar and like
Are you serious?
hold it up to the mic like, in my parents' basement. Just you know what I mean? Like like it would crash every 5 minutes. Like oh dude, it was bad, man.
I used to do something that I would never recommend. I used to have a Rock Band microphone, plug it up to my Windows computer, and then record on FL Studio with the Rock Band microphone.
Sounds like we are cut from the same cloth.
Oh yeah,
whatever
man.
it took, I had, you know.
Them early stages were crazy. You had to do what you had to do. Had no money, but I had Rock Band, boy.
I was saving up some money for Logic Pro because it was so funny. Like, I thought that was the only way, you know, like to get better. Like, I wasn't practicing very much. I just thought, no, I just need to get a better software, and then I'll sound better.
Yeah,
you know, instead of like getting a mic, you know. And I was saving up the money, and I was like just a little shy, and I was like, Mom and Dad, can you just help me out a little bit? And they're like, they didn't understand what it was that I was buying. Like they didn't understand like how software worked. You know, they're like, you're buying, like, what is this you're buying? And I'm like, it's like, it like records me. They're like in the computer. Like, you know what I mean? It was like a new thing, I guess. So I don't know. I just think about like the kids today, they get to like learn and like get hands-on experience with people who can actually teach them correctly. So that's super cool because like people can find their passions. I was like taking piano lessons as a kid and I hated it until I learned that you could like write your own stuff and like put your own voice into it. And I started like playing songs off the books. You know what I mean? I'm like jamming in my own thing. I was like, yeah, this is it. So that's cool. And then when we saw you like judging at the Fly to Dubai, you were giving it to people straight, and I liked that.
Oh yeah, man.
You know, like I think, and then like when we're up at this level, like people need to hear it.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. I mean, especially with that event, the whole point of the competition was the winner gets to fly out to Dubai at no cost and perform. Yeah. You know, so in Dubai, there's, you know, it's a certain culture, so they're not gonna understand certain types of music. You know what I mean? It's an international culture. You have to appeal to that demographic. You know what I mean? When you're making music and you're wanting to go there and perform, it's like going to Mexico and not learning how to speak Spanish. Right. You know what I mean? It's like super disrespectful. You got to go there with their culture, appreciate their culture. You know what I mean? And really like show respect.
Definitely. So on that topic, I know it's kind of a broad stroke statement, but what works for artists right now?
Content.
Content.
Yeah, I would say content because you have to think about everything as content. Your song is just a piece of content. You can only put that song out one time unless you redo it and remix it, and it's more content. It's, as valuable as a video. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You make a video, you get the you make some crazy content to your song, put it out, and now people are gravitating towards your song. Or even for me, I make content and people start booking at the studio, so it kind of goes hand in hand.
Right. So would you recommend an artist releases like one song and really focuses on making content about it, or like a smaller project like EP or a 2-track or something, over like a full album that takes them a year but they're not really making content about it because they're like really into that? Do you think that's the way to do it right now?
Yeah, just if anything, make one song, make 2 months worth of content for that one song, and then put it out, wait for it to blow up. Because I don't know if y'all know, but that's what Fetty Wap did with Trap Queen.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, he would post that song every day for like, or not even just once a day. It was like 2-3 times a day for 3 years or 2 years, something like that. And then it blew up.
That worked.
And now it's diamond.
Yeah, there's no one watching this that wouldn't know that song. So I guess it works.
That's what I'm saying.
And that was interesting to me. The first thing you asked when we were like setting up was like, are you guys gonna be cutting clips and stuff out of this, or is it just the? And I was like, yeah, I guess like we're better off taking this and doing as much as we can with it rather than just posting it once on YouTube and then we're done, like wipe my hands on my shirt or whatever. Because that works. Like the couple times that I've done that so far, when I've like made something and then I can cut like 3 things out of it, those things will do better than the actual thing sometimes. And I'm like, the industry is turned on its head right now. With
people have shorter attention spans.
Yeah. So to get into that a little deeper, because I really am curious, is there's like all this like TikTok music and like quick attention span music. Do you think? I guess people are doing it both ways, but do you think people are better off like leaning into that a little more, like making their song for short attention span and stuff, or do you think it's still better to like put that true creative, like whatever comes out of you? Do you know what I'm asking, basically?
Yeah, I know what you're asking, and it goes back to kind of what I was saying before. Like each song is a piece of content, so my recommendation would be to do both. Make the song you really love because it's the feeling that you need to get out, and making music is all about feeling. You need to get that out, but then also be smart about it. Make an edit, like a short version for TikTok, for Instagram, so people can do, TikToks, Reels, all that stuff. You could possibly go viral. That one dude doing the dance, his song, the clip is what, maybe 3-4 seconds, and everybody's doing it.
Yeah.
Everybody's using the song,
Yeah, it's because sometimes I'll go I'll like one of those songs, and then I'll go look it up, and I'm like, the rest of the song is trash besides that little piece. And I'm like, I think they were making that song like thinking about those 10 seconds only, like maybe not only, but like that's what they were really trying to get right. Like they were making it for phone speakers.
Oh yeah, for sure. For sure.
I can't even think of the name right now. That was another one. It's like I looked it up and I was like, oh, this song is actually pretty sick. Yeah. And then I put it on in my car and I'm like, the mix is terrible, but it was perfect for like Instagram Reels.
Exactly.
Like, the mix sounded amazing on Instagram Reels. Like I've never thought about mixing like that.
It's a new medium, you know, or not new, but it's just a different medium you have to think about when you're mixing. I'm like, you can mix for Spotify, you can mix for Apple Music, and those are 2 different things.
Yes.
So of course you can mix for TikTok and mix for Instagram because those are 2 different things. You can have a different mix for each medium you put your content on.
Honestly, yeah. With what we do with like film and TV, like that's a huge thing because like you think like people will watch a TV show on their phone at the airport, like noise going on, and then some people will go to the theater and it's like Dolby Atmos and it's perfect, and it's like, dang, we really got to be ready for like anybody doing anything nowadays,
right?
Which is a little stressful, but that's what you got to do. Like if you want to play the game, you got to play the game.
Yeah, you have to be prepared and be able to like adapt to whatever situation comes your way. As soon as you say no, they're not gonna call again. So you have to be able to say yes adapt real quick. If you don't know what you're doing, learn.
So what percentage of artists would you say walk through your door that are like ready to do the work?
It's a good portion of them.
Okay.
I'm not gonna lie. Good 70%, I would
Wow.
say.
So there's competition out there. People are ready. People
Yeah,
are hungry, you know?
everybody has their own workflow. It's very rare that somebody comes in with like, I'm not gonna say nothing, because even when somebody comes in with nothing, they're prepared to freestyle, or they're prepared in some form of way.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't take too long to make a song depending on who you're working with, and most people come prepared.
Yeah, I even mean like just in general.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're saying, like do they have the drive to like do
Okay, like the other stuff, like the content,
yeah,
like
or
really
the
do it.
people who walk in to like a studio ready to record, like what's the chance that they're like they're in the right mindset and they're thinking about like these things we're talking about, like they've already got content in their mind and they've already got, you know, like they're
Okay,
practicing
yeah.
their live show, like they're ready, you know. I'm
All right,
just
if you're talking
curious.
about like that far,
Yeah.
it's a smaller percentage, I would say.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's not too many people thinking about how to make a real show track, or the content that they're doing. You know, folks might get a video in the studio, but not like you know, like a daily TikTok or reel about their song or something like that. Most, you know, you have to be really consistent when doing content and making music.
Oh yeah,
And, you know, a lot of people, I think, still have to find that drive.
right on.
But once they do, it's over with, because they make great music.
Yeah, totally. I know a lot of talented people that like it's just like, come on, like,
Yeah,
dude,
do the
you got a
content, do
great
the work.
voice.
You got
like,
this
now
other
you just
half
got to
of-
do the other piece. So.
Yeah, making music is only, what, 10% of making music?
Right, because
The
that's
actual
the thing.
creation part?
Like even at Fly to Dubai and some other events I've been at, like I'm like that song was sick,
Right.
but you gotta be that song on stage, or vice
Exactly.
versa. Like some people have the stage presence, and then it's like you got to get in the studio more and like keep chopping at some other stuff. You know,
Right.
it's like rare that you see somebody who's got all of it, but you see it.
Oh, yeah,
And I
for
see
sure.
it in St. Louis for sure.
Yeah,
like,
you definitely see it.
I'll see some people on like Instagram or TikTok from St. Louis. I'm like, oh man, they
Going crazy,
they're
right.
good.
That's
I'm
what
gonna have to
saying.
work a little harder. if
It's
I'm
so
gonna hit
much
that.
talent in St. Louis, and I'm glad that St. Louis is finally getting a lot of the shine that, you know what I'm saying, we deserve, for sure.
I'd say it's on its way.
Yeah, that's what I'm
From what
saying.
I
It's
see.
definitely on the way, and it's starting here. Honestly, it's starting here.
Definitely. So to kind of turn the corner a little bit more about you personally. So on your website, sometimes I like to look at what people's websites say about them, because that's like what you decide you're telling people you are a little bit, which is because I'm like, I try to look at our website like that. Like, what do
Right.
people think I am versus what do I think I am? What I see is when we go on the about page for you, it says, these are the three things: mix engineer, producer, musician.
Yep.
If you could only be one of those things, which one would you be?
Oh, that's a question. If I can only be one,
Uh-huh.
that's hard. I love mixing and production roughly about the same amount. I feel the same when I mix something versus when I make a beat. I gotta go with producer.
Okay.
I gotta go with producer.
Okay.
It was my first passion. I'm gonna be making beats until I die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like even if you weren't here anymore, you're just like at home, whatever. Like you would
If
just
I had
keep
no
making
artist,
music.
if I didn't know anybody, I would make beats forever.
Nice.
Like, yeah.
That's awesome.
For sure.
I think I need to get on that wave. I used to be that way.
Mhm.
Like I would make stuff for me more.
Yeah.
And then like now that I do this professionally, just in this field in general, it feels like a job, and I'm trying to get it back to that point where it's like, I just want to feel like a producer at heart. You know what I mean? I
Right.
just want to create.
You just gotta find the time. If you can get like an hour just to get some of your own ideas out and just mess around with some sounds. That's what I realized I have to do sometimes. Just like carve out some time and just experiment with some sounds. When I do that, that gets my beat block out way and everything. It's like it keeps me creative. It keeps me feeling like I used to feel when I first started producing. You know what I'm saying? When I was like 12.
So would you say you try to seek out like the new stuff rather than use the stuff you're used to? Like you like finding new plugins rather than like using the one you've always used, or like hardware or mics, anything?
I'm not gonna lie. No, because there's certain times when I will try and find new inspiration or new sounds, new toys, new things like that. But for the most part, like I'm real comfortable with what I have, and I have whatever I need for the most part to like make what most people come to me for. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's pretty rare that I like need something new, but every now and then I feel like, oh yeah, I want to get a new plugin or something. I'm tired of these. Just see what's out there.
I think I'm on the same page as you. Like I like what's tried and true, what I'm used to. Like with these mics, like we were having some mic trouble a little bit ago, and I'm like, I'm not buying a new mic. Like,
right, yeah,
I like this. I'm gonna fix this mic. You know?
Right, yeah.
Like this is the mic I trust. Like I've always used these things. Like I love the way these sound. So same with like plugins. Like whenever there's like a new plugin everybody's using, I'm like, crap, I'm gonna have to learn that. It's like a big complicated one. I'm like, but what about this thing I've already got that mostly does the job? I probably need to lean the other way a little bit and like try some new things, and because there's so much on the market now, man. Like,
That's what I'm saying.
like it kind of scares me when there's something I sit there and I do for like an hour, and then someone's like, oh yeah, I just press a button now and this new plugin it just does it for me. And I'm like,
Oh yeah, it's all AI now. It's AI.
how do you feel about AI?
It's a useful tool. I feel like it probably will replace a lot of things,
Yeah.
but as of right now, it still can't get that human feel that I've seen yet. Somebody actually just showed me some software yesterday, and it was pretty close. It made a hit song, and I was like blown away.
Oof.
Yeah,
It's scary.
Mhm. Yeah,
You didn't hear that. You didn't hear that.
Yeah,
people.
I was blown away. And the thing about it is you still own the copyrights. You still own whatever lyrics it makes, whatever beat, whatever sounds. You can get the stems. All intents and purposes, use it for like demo purposes. I still like to add the human feel to it though, because I mean, just typing in a prompt is,
Yeah.
it's not as fun as tinkering around on the piano and finding the sounds and really enjoying it.
Yeah.
It might take a couple hours to make a beat, but so
So what?
go ahead and do it.
That's like everything. Like that's the journey,
Yeah.
It's like part of it. Like that's why you said you'll be doing it till you die.
Exactly.
And that's not because you can prompt it. You
No.
know? So when I was watching a movie the other day and thinking about AI, I was watching Severance. A lot of people are talking about that show right now on Apple.
I think I heard about it.
Yeah, it's just like a futuristic, like what could happen type show.
Okay.
And I was just thinking about how crazy like all the shots were, and like how like there had to be some AI going on and like some of that, right?
Oh yeah.
And I was thinking about it, like, but I thought that I was like, I don't think they could do that shot or that thing without AI. And you think about like movies in the 90s up to now, it's like how different they are now, like how much more we can do. Same with music and like the quality of recording, like 70s, you get that hiss and it's nice. I add that in. I'm not gonna lie still.
Yeah.
And like, but now like there's like almost no noise floor on some of these recorders we're using. Like the Zoom we're using right now is like incredibly low, and like especially the studio stuff. You can get the cleanest recordings possible. With the AI, like you said, you heard a song that was pretty close, but like you still knew, didn't you? Oh.
Well, I mean, I still knew. It was, the vocals were still choppy enough for me to understand that it was not a human.
Yeah.
But like the concept of the song and the melodies and the instrumental, like all AI, and it was crazy. Like if anybody would have taken that song and redid it exactly how the AI did it, just added that human feel to it, it's probably like number 1 on Billboard.
Dang it. Well,
like
I guess what I was gonna say, which I might be wrong about, is like I think as AI gets better, our ears get better, and we can tell more. But maybe we're getting closer to that line than I want to admit.
I think we're getting closer to that line, man.
Forget the whole point.
We're getting we're getting closer to that line. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm trying to fight it myself, but like it's still levels to it. So we're still probably at least a year away from like just being taken over.
A year, okay. All right, well,
a smooth year, maybe 2.
We'll keep working for a year. That'd
maybe
be all right.
who knows? Maybe by the next president.
This will be the last interview we do on the channel, everybody.
Right? No,
we're closing shop.
You can't interview AI. Well, I was gonna say you can't interview AI, but I guess
I think the thing.
Not the person is.
I think the thing that won't go away, that like I don't think this is a new idea or anything, but is like the mentorship that you have to teach somebody about the real stuff. Like you and I both know, like the technique, like there's some stuff you can't replace. Like with what we do when we're like editing, like when we're on film sets, it's not, you can't get the mic this close. You know, it's like you got to do one of these to get it out of the frame. And like, so there's going to have to be some editing techniques we use to make it sound like it was here.
Yeah.
But, and that's something maybe AI could do. But like things like getting like your technique right, or teaching someone to get their delivery right in the studio, like teaching someone to get the ear to get that human touch, like teaching someone to like have good taste. Like I don't think that's going anywhere.
No.
I hope not.
No.
Like, yes, someone can punch something into AI and make a good song, but like if they come here, they're gonna get like a catered experience that's like you can get what's in their head out on paper. And I just don't think AI is perfectly gonna do that.
No.
You can teach them to get a better vocal take. AI, whereas AI would just do it for them instead. And that's they're just two different games, I think, and we'll see what happens. But I'm on team
us,
team us, human. Yeah, team human. I use AI a little bit here and there, like I think we all do, whether you like it or not. But I'm just not. I'm not stuck on it. That's
I think AI is a helpful tool, but I don't think it's like you should just use AI. You know what I mean? Like Xing out that human feel is just it takes the fun away from it. It takes the joy away from music. You know what I mean? Music's all about that.
I saw a good quote on like Twitter some months ago. I don't know who it was, but it was like, I don't want AI to like make my art for me, so I can go do my laundry. You know, I want AI to do my laundry so I can go make my art.
Right.
Like, so I think that could be the future. Is like if we just lean it in the right direction, like have it do that kind of stuff for us. You know?
Yeah, that's what I think. That's what I feel would be best.
Yeah. So before we kind of before we wrap up here, just a couple more things I wanted to ask about. I wanted to ask about, I see more of this, but I'm just curious. Like, we kind of live in a subscription world right now. And I saw you have subscriptions on your website that like artists can come in and use. But that's not always the case at every studio. And that was always daunting for me when I was more learning to record and I couldn't do it myself. I was like, it's so expensive. I wish there was like a way for me to like be a member somewhere and like just be able to come and go. Is that pretty much what your membership is? Like they get a certain amount of sessions, or like if they sign up? Tell me about that. I'm curious.
So pretty much what it is you get 4 hours of studio time and a free mix every month for $500. So it's $500 a month, 4 hours of studio time, free mix. And you still have to book it. So, you know, we have this room, so you have to let me know like when you want to use the 4 hours and, you know, book it through the website and whatnot. But yeah, whenever you want, essentially.
I'm assuming a lot of people use that, right?
Oh yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's a good business model, because that's like, that gives enough time to make a song and then go do something with it, then make a song, go do something with it,
Pretty much. I'm thinking about switching it up and making it a single deal every month. So my single deals are $500 also, and that comes with 2 hours of studio time, a mix, and a beat.
Yeah.
So I'm like, doing something like that would probably be, I probably end up switching it up to that, honestly.
Cool.
Doing that per month.
Cool. Yeah, I was just curious about that one, because that seems like a good idea.
But
to me.
yeah. A lot of people end up taking advantage of it. It's pretty cool.
And then one of the last questions I also had was, are you mixing in other formats? This is more just a for me question. You know what I mean? Like, are you mixing like in stereo or like, you know, like 3 tracks, or are you mixing like 5.1 or anything in here? I'm curious.
No, mainly just stereo. There was one mix that I did that was like 5.1 or like a fake 7.1. You know what I mean? But for the most part, just stereo.
Gotcha. Yeah, pretty much me too right now.
Yeah.
But I see like on Apple Music, like some of these albums you can get it in like surround sound.
Yeah,
and
surround sound, Dolby, all of it.
It's cool. Like I was sitting in my friend's like full Dolby, like, it's not a studio, it's just like a hangout area he like watches movies in. He's got a nice system. But we're like listening to some, I don't even remember what it was. And it was like sounds were flying all around me. I was like, this is not right. I was like, I don't know if we need to do this with music. Like, I think like just 2 speakers and a sub honestly does it with music.
No. I'm not gonna lie. The upgrade we would need would be a 7.1 in here, 7.1 system. I went to a studio in Miami with a 7.1 system. They played Mystery Lady by Masego and Don Tolliver
Oh, okay, yeah.
in surround sound, and they mixed it in surround sound. So all the sounds were just going all over the place. When I say it sounds so great, that was like the best listening experience I've had in music in so long.
Wow, I guess I need to try it out some more then.
You have to
and,
at least try it. Like mixing with 7 speakers, just surround sound is crazy.
It's cool for the movies, like what we do, but I wasn't sure if I would like it with just a song or not. Like,
No, it's I'm not gonna lie, it's probably unnecessary with a song because anybody listening is gonna listen through stereo.
yeah.
You know, just 2 speakers. That's it. Not a lot of people have like a whole surround sound system to just blast music all day. You know what I mean?
Are the headphones doing it nowadays?
That's true. I guess there's some
think so,
headphones that
yeah.
like mimic it and stuff. So I guess that's the future then, is like
Yeah.
more speakers.
Right.
Dang it.
Can't be mad at that. Love more speakers.
No, it's just more music, right?
Right,
So
yeah.
that's a
Louder
good-
music.
First question, if you could only be all analog or all digital, what would you choose?
All digital.
What's your favorite song for mixing reference?
It depends on what I'm mixing. I go probably some Kanye song like Stronger.
All right, yeah. Can you save a 5 out of 10 mix with a great master or no?
No, you can't save a 5 out of 10 mix with a great master. It's just gonna make it sound worse.
You heard it here.
It's just gonna make it sound worse.
All right, what is the difference between a good mix and a great mix?
That's a question. I feel like a good mix is clean, but a great mix is clean and has feeling.
What's the mic you pick up the most?
GA Premier 800.
What is that?
The GA Premier 800G.
Yeah, what is that?
Oh, it's like a Sony clone, but it's not as bright. It's a little bit more dark.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Okay.
I like it.
What's the mic that you own that you pick up the least?
All right, like an SM58.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. You don't like live? You don't even use it?
Well, no, on live, yeah, sure. But I mostly work in the studio. I do mostly like recording, singular vocalists and things like that. So I don't really use dynamic mics as much.
Gotcha. That makes sense then. If you could have, oh wait, that one doesn't really count. When we cut these, we cut out me during this part. We just cut around you, so it doesn't really matter what I do.
Okay.
Do you work a standard schedule or is it pretty sporadic?
It's sporadic. It's so sporadic. I never know when I'm gonna get booked, or I never know, what the schedule's gonna be like for the day. I might not have any bookings when I first wake up, and then by the end of the day, I've been there for 12, 16 hours just booking after bookings.
Yep, I know the day.
Right.
Do you like it like that? Like, does that work for you?
Yeah, it actually does. I mean, eventually you get used to it. It's just the grind. If you really love what you love, then you're gonna go through it.
Absolutely. All right, mixing in headphones, yes or no?
No. No.
It doesn't seem like you really
No.
like it that much.
I'll mix on my laptop speakers before I mix on headphones.
Wow.
Yeah. That's a Josh B quote. You can quote me on that one.
Okay. What about when you have to get really surgical with something?
Laptop speakers.
Okay.
I'll listen real quiet on, the CLAs we have or anything like that. The worse speaker, the better.
Yeah, that's so true nowadays. All right, what are your favorite speakers that you have?
Probably the CLAs, honestly. Yeah, the CLAs, the NS10 replicas.
Yep. Cool. Classic. Yeah, I've been looking at those.
Yeah.
I always, whenever I'm looking for speakers, I'm like, should I just go for it?
I mean, it's
'cause-
just great for mixing.
Yeah.
It's just classic.
All right, name a DAW you would never use.
There's a few of them.
All right, name a few.
Studio One. What's the other one? Digital Performer.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they used to teach that. I had a class on Digital Performer. I'm like, why are we learning digital performer, like teaches Pro Tools, FL Studio, Logic, Ableton, like something everybody uses. You know?
There's some weird ones out there.
Yeah.
I'll hear someone use this one. I'm like, what? Why? You know, I guess it's like that. You took a class and then they just never stop using it.
Pretty much, yeah.
What DAW do you use?
I use 3 different DAWs. So I use Pro Tools for recording. I use FL Studio for production, and I use Logic mainly for sampling or for more realistic production, like live instrumentation.
If you could only have one, what would you use?
Don't do that. That's crazy. Ooh, if I can only have one, I'd have to use Logic. You can make a beat in Logic and record in that same session, and it's not just gonna crash, you know. But my standard is Pro Tools and FL Studio. That's like my main.
What are some habits that like you have to keep up if you want to keep doing this?
Keep doing which part, or just all of it?
Like just like you said, you got like 12, 16-hour days sometimes. Like what do you have to do to keep on the grind and keep doing it?
Meditate. That's like a main thing. Meditation. I try and get as much rest as I can when I can, but you know, because the days are so vary, like the times that I'm up here vary all the time, so it kind of just depends. But I get rest when I can, for sure. That's probably the main thing, get rest.
All right, well, we're probably gonna wrap it up there. Thanks for coming in. We'll have to do another conversation
man.
soon
Appreciate
and
you.
get deeper into stuff. But Josh B, everybody, we're gonna put his information down in subscription below so you can come book a session and learn a little bit more. So yeah, signing off. Thanks for tuning in.
Thank you. Peace out.